Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Woodmere Estate Revival. We're back down in the master bedroom suite today, trying to clean up from yesterday's demolition of the master bathroom. At the end of yesterday's video, I had anticipated still having some energy to go ahead and clean up everything that we ripped down, but ultimately after looking at it and figuring out how much more time we'd have to put in, we said, you know what, let's go home and rest up and come back and hit it again hard today. So we're back in the master bedroom. I got my dad coming over today. Amber's going to be down here in just a minute. We got a sitter to keep an eye on the boys this afternoon so we can focus our undivided attention on tearing out the rest of this stuff and cleaning up in here. Amber's going to be working downstairs as well, trying to rip down a little bit more sheetrock in the dining room laundry area. We keep finding more water damage, and so we just want to keep ripping that back until we're absolutely certain that everything is good. You know, the more we go, the more I think ultimately we're going to end up ripping out all the sheetrock, because that's going to make it so much easier to start fresh, to know that we've got easy passage for wiring, for plumbing. We know we don't have any mold hiding behind the walls, so I don't know what's going to happen ultimately. We may end up saving some of the sheetrock, but the way it's going right now, it looks like we're going to be ripping out most of it. So let me give you a quick tour of how we're starting today. Behind me here you can see the remnants of the wall in the master closet. This area again is going to become the master bath, so this is much more open now because we've ripped out the closets and we took the headers out where the closet doors were, and you can really now see the size of the space. So we think it's going to make a really nice master bath. We've got a new door coming in on this wall, and then we'll get everything reconfigured here. This door is going to go away, but this was the current master bathroom, and you can see the vanity's gone, the wall's gone. There's all the marble tile that we were able to salvage from the bathroom. We may end up trying to sell that, or see if we can find somebody to donate that to. But it's really in good shape overall. It's going to need some adhesive and stuff scraped off of it, but I think it's certainly good enough shape to be reused. You can see all the light pouring in from this window now that we've got that stained glass window taken out. The remnants of the shower are here. You can see we're down to the framing here. I got all that concrete board ripped off last night. Went into beast mode a little bit there and just grabbed hold of the cement board and just ripped that stuff off. So we got to get all this stuff picked up, hauled out to the dumpster so we can see what we're doing here. When my dad gets here, we're going to tackle this tub. We're going to do a little bit of it with precision, try to remove these fixtures and save them because they're still in good shape. They're heavy brass Kohler fixtures. Then some of it we're just going to go a little crazy and hit it with the sledgehammer and the Sawzall and cut the tub in half and get that thing out of here, because we're not going to try to reuse that. So it's going to be a busy day on the job site again. We'll keep you updated with action along the way. So we got most of the stuff cleaned out of here, hauled down to the dumpster. Now it's time to tackle this big tub. It's a jetted tub. It's from the 90s, we guess. And it is fiberglass, so it should be a little bit easier to handle, but it's hard to tell what type of plumbing and electrical stuff we're going to get into underneath. So we're going to take the side out of this tub mount here, and that way we can get a look at everything that's going on underneath here. See what we're going to get into. Apply some sledgehammer to it.
Woo!
Okay. Come on in.
Okay. Let me get in here. Okay.
So basically they framed up with wood here, and then you got a fiberglass tub that sits down in here.
Okay.
Here's all your plumbing for your jets.
Yeah.
Everything's plastic. It shouldn't be too heavy. So I'm going to go ahead and bust out the rest of this frame, and then we'll try to get back in here and cut our plumbing connection, see if we can lift the whole thing up out of here.
You got a trap down here. That's plumbed with, it looks like copper.
Okay.
You got from your tub drain, and then your overflow drain, probably a P-trap maybe or something right down here.
Okay.
I'll cut that loose. Then you got some wiring.
Of course.
Of course.
Probably just hooked together with wire nuts and
I
electrical
wonder
tape.
how they got the back of this thing unless it goes under.
I don't know. Let me go and bust the rest of this out.
Okay.
Retreat.
Wow. Good job. Yay.
Cut this. Probably that kind.
Get the saws off.
Yeah. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Go off your,
Your overflow there.
yeah. If you cut that, then you
Bring
drain
it down too.
You cut that.
Cut that horizontal and this vertical. Okay.
And it's seeing you got a fit in there. I can, it's going down into the ground. The thing is moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop out of it.
Yeah. It's not now.
Not hooked anything?
It ain't hooked anymore.
That's weird.
It's down in that fitting.
Just a slip there.
Yeah, see what? The tail piece came out.
Oh, cheek. What that was leaking?
This is easier help. Wait a second.
Yeah.
This is falling apart. Careful with your back.
Here's all the. Here's the pump. Jeez.
Wow.
Not even plugged in.
I bet they undid all that when the pipes froze. But how would you unplug that? I don't know.
They even
Is
plugged
there
in the
even
wall.
is there even an outlet?
They even an outlet in the wall here.
Okay.
You can jerk it out.
You got a bar, wrecking bar or anything?
What's up?
Try to get that thing loose. That's what's holding us
Yeah.
up.
The saws off.
Well,
Just pivot.
Or just pivot.
you won't need it now.
Get out of the way here. Wow.
There you go.
All right.
Really, pretty nice units. This thing's probably expensive.
I'm sure it was.
Anybody need a whirlpool bath?
I'll go through your
In
door.
hunter green.
That's what it is. Gently used. Just put your address in the comments below. We'll drop it off in your yard. As is our practice. This is the on-off switch here. Huh.
Okay, well there you go.
Wow, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Went better than I figured it was going to.
Now, the hall bathroom we won't be so lucky.
It's cast iron. So
I know.
it's hard to smash it.
How's it going, honey?
I'm tired.
Long day yesterday, wasn't it?
My arms are sore.
Yeah. Working over your head with heavy tools, it wears them out.
It's like probably, what, a 3-pound sledgehammer, and it feels like 10
Yeah.
or more.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a great job.
I am. I'm almost done with this wall.
Making good progress.
Yeah.
Amber got all this stuff knocked out today, all around this window. And she's working on the last section here. Trying to get this knocked out. This was one of those sections that we thought might have gotten wet at one point, and then where we tore this wall out and some of the other defects in the wall, we figured it'd just be easier just to rip it down and start fresh rather than pay somebody to, you know, piece a bunch of stuff in here and maybe end up with a substandard patch job and everything else. So, doing good work, honey.
I'm almost done.
All right, keep tearing it up. We're making good progress in the bathtub or the bathroom.
Good.
See you in a bit.
All right.
That was pretty solid. We made a lot of tack.
You guys have made a lot of progress.
Yes, ma'am. Not going without a fight.
Of course not. Nothing does.
Obviously, there's some screws or something. Summers. This is where we screwed on top of that, which is already screwed to the floor. Sorry, I got your hat there. That's right.
Woo! Wait,
What?
I saw a spark, but I think it was just...
Nail
Oh,
on
just the nail. Okay. Back a little bit. Woo! All right. Well, that did it.
Yep. Good. Loose. Yeah, screw. Good old screws there.
All right.
Just gonna pop the tile up off the floor.
Okay. Then you're done?
And we still gotta cut the last piece.
Oh, yeah. The dividing wall needs to come out.
Partition wall's gonna come out.
Yeah. That'll really open it up. Move back so you can yeah, all that. And then we'll have one awesome master closet.
Huh. There's one back in this one. They added two, Jeff. There's your problem.
Yeah, there's
More
two.
screws. Same. Another 12 screws. Yeah. Just getting paid in a box. Very quick. That board,
Did it really?
the board quit too.
Just in time.
Good deal. Good deal.
Woohoo!
All right.
Good work.
Well, folks, that wraps up a good Sunday afternoon of demolition. It's getting dark outside, so I figure I better go home and shower up and get rested for the work week. Probably be back down here later this week doing some more cleanup down here. We got a lot accomplished in the master bath this afternoon. My dad was a big help, and we were able to knock out a lot of the last of the demolition there, pulled out the framing, and pulled out the shower pan, all this extra junk that was left over from the jetted tub. So wrestling the jetted tub down the stairs, we got that out of the way, so that was a big relief. Let me show you what we're left with after today's work. So shower pan is gone. We're down to the plywood here. You can see where the drain went down for the shower. Jetted tub is gone, and you can see where the cutout was there for the drain that went down into the actually that's right above the porch on the back of the house there. So we got everything cut off here. We got the all the plumbing and everything cut off. Not worried about water leaks or anything. That's kind of nice. You can go through and do demolition at will without worrying about springing a leak somewhere. So we've just been going through cutting pipes off because all this stuff is getting replaced with PEX, and so we'll be taking all this copper out and hauling that to the recycler. Hopefully get a little money out of it and be able to pay for some of our renovations with all of our recycling. You can see the toilet's gone. The only thing left really of the bathroom is this section of marble floor. We got to get that stuff pried up off of the plywood subfloor. And this wall right here, this whole thing's coming out, so we just went ahead and left that little bit of sheetrock on there, not a big deal. And one little piece of cement board above the window there. I got to pop that window trim off and get the last of the cement board stuff off. So overall, huge improvement in here. Let me take you downstairs. Amber was busy at work. While we were up here pounding away and getting all this stuff out, she was busy at work in the dining room. We wanted to get the last little bit of sheetrock off the wall down there. There was some concern that maybe it had some water damage, and we'd been tearing it all out all around it anyways, and so we were going to have to deal with patching and everything else to try to get that to look right. A lot of times drywall guys will charge you more if they have to go in and patch 2 or 3 sections than they would if they just, if we ripped the whole thing out and they just went in with brand new 4x8 or bigger sheets. So let me show you what she was working on here. She went ahead and pulled down all the sheetrock off of this wall here. Just a little bit of remnants there, but she got all this done this afternoon, got all this pulled down. We're going to leave the insulation up for now. It's been down in the single digits here, so we're trying to keep as much heat in the place as possible. We've been using some electric space heaters, and when we're down here, we're going ahead and using a propane torpedo heater to really bring the temperature up. We use that in our workspace. So most of the major demolition is done at this point. We've got a few things remaining that we're going to tackle. Let me show you over here by the fireplace. This hearth gets cut out. It was poorly supported, not exactly sure what's happening down underneath, but it was evidently poorly supported because you can see how it's pulling away from the fireplace. So we're going to go ahead and demolish the hearth. We also have to saw cut this brick all the way down through here, even with this edge of the wood box. And the reason we're doing that is because everything from this edge to the left is going away, and that's going to be a new door going into the office space. So all this is going away, and then this mantle's coming off, this marble's coming off, and we're going to be wrapping this entire fireplace in paneling to really give it a very colonial look. But we got to go ahead and demolish the hearth because that thing's got to go. I'm not sure what's going on underneath, but we're going to go ahead and rip it out. And then when our masons here doing the rest of the brickwork, they'll go ahead and put a proper footer in the crawl space down there and build up and put a new hearth there. So that's going to be a fun project. Looking forward to tearing that out. And then of course we have the kitchen. We're going to try to save as many of these cabinets as we can to repurpose them in other places. We're going to do an all new kitchen here, different layout. Amber's going to configure her appliances in different ways. So we're not going to be able to use any of the existing cabinets for our kitchen, but they would make a pretty nice set of laundry cabinets. So I think this section right here that's got the cooktop on it is actually going to go into the laundry. And then we're going to try to save some of these uppers, this bank over here, and maybe a couple of these longer upper cabinets to put on top of this, and then have a laundry sink there in the center. So that's our aim, is to save as as many of those cabinets as we can to go ahead and repurpose those. We'll paint them out. They won't be stained wood because all of our trim and everything we painted won't have any stained wood work. But we're looking forward to getting those out. And that's really the last big demolition project. I say that, and then there's always something else. For instance, I've got to get these floors taken out right before the contractors get in to get started. We've left them here. You can see we've got them supported here with some plywood. We've left these floors in place just because we've been doing all this demolition. We haven't been able to take them out, otherwise we'd be doing the tightrope walk across all the floor joists. Not a good solution. So once the major demolition is done, once the kitchen's out really, we're going to be able to go ahead and start in the office through that door over there and then start working our way out. And so we'll take the office floor out, then we'll take the living room floor out, and then we'll come over here and we'll take the dining room floor out, and then lastly we'll take the foyer floor out. And so once we've got all that flooring out, we'll be able, that'll have all the floor joists exposed. We'll see if we have any bad floor joists we got to replace, and that'll give our framing contractor the ability to come in and take a look at everything and say, I see exactly what we have to do here. There's no question about what's going on underneath these floorboards. Because that's the last thing we want is for our framing contractors, our subs, to come in and bid the project and say, listen, there's some really questionable stuff going on with the floorboards. We're going to add an extra 20% just in case we run into some nasty stuff. So obviously we're going to expose everything we can. That way those guys can come in and say, I see exactly what needs to be changed out. Here's what we're going to do, and this is what it's going to cost. And that'll help keep our costs and everything in line. So another big day here. Glad to be headed home for the evening. It's getting cold out again, but we'll be down later this week to knock out some more. Thanks again for tuning in for this episode of Woodmere Estate Revival. If you haven't, hit that subscription button, and please continue to follow this project. It's going to be a long project, and there's going to be some exciting stuff to come, so please subscribe, and please hit that like button. We appreciate that. Show us that you like what we're doing. If you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see, get down to that comment section down there and let us know. Thanks. Take care. See you soon.